Please. Thank you very much. I have the duty of presenting to you the very young experience of the National Employment Agency of Togo on migration of labor migration. Sorry. I will start by presenting ANPE, just like any other PES, and then we'll give you the service of our professional mobility, which is in a conceptual and theoretical phase. Even if some activities were carried out, as the president said, what have we accomplished so far since we started? Then what we do with ministries, because there is a political part that has to be managed in this issue of migration. ANP was created since 2006 in laws and decrees, but became operational in 2010 when I was appointed Director General. So next year that will be 10 years, but I don't wish to be there for more than 10 years. It's not good to stay long in a position. It's sit on a chair that, I mean, you should learn to give way to others. It is under the supervision of the Ministry of Public Service and Administrative Reforms, but I also manages but the Ministry of Youth and Employment and Labor. But we did not create a national employment agency. Those who are where will people who are over 40 years go to? If we have only youth employment agencies, if we have two, it depends on the country. Every director has to work with other directors for synergy. Three departments that take care of our main functions: intermediation, crying with the unemployed, but also wooing companies to get jobs, chasing them until we find them and give them to the unemployed. Support the creation of enterprises. This is a particularity of entrepreneurship, either of the youth or the older people. We need to help them to create activities. In the next future years, there will be less future salary jobs. It is entrepreneurship that will be the order of the day. Observing the labor market, just as my Mozambican colleague, we have observatories within ANPE, and that's what is important to help government to manage the indicators, quality of information, with working in a relationship with the Institute of Statistics to find economic and social coherence between government programs, anticipate jobs, competencies, monitor, and giving accounts to government on what's working and what's not working. We have 56,000 kilometers square, 8,000 inhabitants, but we are 80 of us. We have 40 job counselors on the field. There are 11 representations, small units of counselors, 5 in the capital and 6 in each main city, with a motorbike per counselor. This covers almost nothing. But we cry with government. We've been advocating that government should give more money if they want to produce 100,000 jobs per year and 500,000 over a period of 5 years. If they don't give money, it's like in the house. In African homes, the man gives money for food. If he doesn't give money, there will be no food. Children will not eat. So governments must give more money. I cannot recruit. I cannot pay my staff. I'm not paid well myself. I'm a little fat, but it's okay. I have a salary scale that dates as back as when it was created, and my collaborators are beginning to resign. They're beginning to go. So it's like trying to fetch water in a basket because people need money. The particular mission that you have is mobility of labor. It is legitimate for all public employment service to work on migration issues. So we have three agents who work together with me on issues of mobility, with this mission to work on the match between demand and supply. I will spare you these details and I'll go straight to what we have done. This is equally the content of the offer, both for candidates from the outset that need to be sensitized and consider a B2B approach or a group approach, and help them depending on destinations what links they should use not to be duped. You see on WhatsApp and Instagram and all the social media, many professionals, uh, many crooks who dupe people of their monies. The girls are assaulted, and then it's disaster. So we try to work on these to avoid people falling in these traps. For candidates who are leaving, it is the content of design. The design of the offer was done meticulously by our Tunisian colleagues with Pôle Emploi, who support us in a project that we've been carrying out since 2 years, which we call Migration. We need to accept, you learn to accept to be helped. You don't just wake up one morning and create a professional migration department and you start doing a one-man show there, going to workshops and so on. No, sit down, have a diagnosis, design and implement gradually, and one day you begin to start helping people to live as our Senegalese friends. Now, people of the diaspora are not politicians. It is a public employment service that should ensure that all job offers in Senegal, in DRC, should be known immediately at the same time for DRC and Japan. They should read the same thing like every other person. Even if a GM has to be appointed in a public employment service, the next director, if so if there is a job offer, everyone should be on the same at the same level and have the same information at the same time. Now, people at the diaspora are tired of staying in Europe. They want to come back. Some have earned so much money and have experience. You need to enable them to give you their projects with entrepreneurial services. You help them to draw business plans, talk to them about taxation, custom duties. So they should not send their projects to the presidency. That's not the right place. Politicians will aid those projects. You should be the ones to ensure that they are accompanied until their return plan is fruitful. They come on holiday with their wives, their children, you discuss with them, and one day they will come back and settle progressively. That's how you should proceed. We'll work with the French Migration Office, and we try to help the diaspora to progress. They will be in line with Foreign Affairs, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and other ministries. What have we achieved so far? The adventure started when I started in ANPE. We elaborated a migration manual with the support of the program, and it is Belgium that helped us with our colleagues from Benin to write the migration procedure manual. What is the use of a migration procedure manual if we don't know how to negotiate with governments? If we cannot help people to go, we'll have good papers, but it will remain in drawers. But a training action of our teams is very important. So what we did with our friends from Tunisia, we trained in Turin authorities of the migration unit how to manage migration. That is a training. And four people of ANPE went to a workshop in Marrakesh to acquire knowledge. So the unit head went. At the time, the minister told me, no, that's many people. No, they will not go. I told him, Your Excellency, calm down. I am making a lot of efforts. It's not your money. He said, that's not my problem. There are too many. Well, of course, you don't shout at a minister. I said, Mr. Minister, just sign. So he signed. So they went, and they came back with competence, and they can lead the process. Then in Lome, we trained other counselors. Every person of my agency is an expert in migration issues right now, such that even 600 kilometers away from Lome, we can address the issue when we start. We have community managers as well. So today, I can flood all the social media of Togo successfully. When I have a press conference, the entire world follows it on Facebook. It was successful, and sometimes I cannot even invite TV, but I record success. Other activities, we have done what we call the International Employment Forum of Togo with the resources of this migration project funded by the European Union. We planned for 300 people, and the youth were over 1,000. Politically, you say migration is not good. Brain drain, that's big talk. The youth have proven that they can work anywhere in the world. You see, the president has promised jobs and he doesn't give. Will the youth wait? No, he will not wait. He tells me, Mr. AMOUSSOU, you talk a lot on the TV. We don't see jobs. We want to go. So they were there and they followed with 20 presenters, including the Canadian ambassador to Ghana. So they show the youth what sites to visit, how to build your project, go progressively and go regularly. The second success was Germany. People went to visit the stand of Germany and France. We equally had a project with European funds, and like our Tunisian friends, we have a portal for international jobs, so that when we sign agreements with countries, Gulf countries, I'll see my Kenyan friend, so that he'll tell me his secret, how he signed the contract with Qatar and the rest. He will give me a sample of the cooperation agreement they signed, and I will try to copy it and sign. When agreements are signed, the site must be very professional, and that is where all the jobs of the world, you find Togolese. That's where offers will be visible. I have seen that in Morocco, I've seen that in Tunisia. All offers of countries with which we sign that need to go are visible immediately after a few seconds of search. The youth register and counselors do the matching. They verify contract issues, tests, interviews, and the visa requirements, just as our Moroccan friends said it. Our brothers who come from the village need to be helped so that they should not get lost in the town, in the city before reaching the airport. We equally have huge collaboration with Foreign Affairs, dear friends, dear colleagues. Eat with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Invite him for lunch, for dinner. He is the one who will help you to talk with the government. The Minister of Labour, just inform him he doesn't have the means to travel. But the Minister of Foreign Affairs travels. That's his job. So in my country, it's a Minister of Foreign Affairs who tells ambassadors, book appointments for Mr. AMOUSSOU. I was in Montreal in October, November last year. Then I am just AMOUSSOU of Togo, but people of Immigration Quebec cannot receive me. But when they asked the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Canada and the Director of Immigration Quebec, I was called for an interview. I was well dressed, looking smart, and we spent 2 hours discussing. They asked me questions, and I said, I'm preparing the way for my minister to come and sign an agreement with Immigration Quebec. He said, but you are the representative of Pôle Emploi Togo. Unless you want the minister to sign. I said, okay, I'll sign. So, small AMOUSSOU that I was, I signed with Immigration Quebec. By the end of the year, we are still discussing, we are preparing documents. With the Minister of Foreign Affairs, I intend to go to other places. But for now, with his involvement, we have defined the various areas where we negotiate. For Africa, Gabon, Togolese take boats by night, they go and die on the high seas. They suffer violations, they go to Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Congo, Brazzaville. We have the Popos, these are Beninese and Togolese, and Nigeria. So we need to regularize the migration aspect, the labor migration aspect between countries, so that they can go and come regularly without being caught by police officers and tortured. So we need to regularize agreements. European zone, Germany, Belgium, we're already there. I signed something. Italy is envisaged, Spain and France. For Belgium, on 20th June, I signed an agreement with VDAB, the Belgian public service that is in charge. They speak French there. All that is Belgium with its different languages. So I signed for computer science, health and services jobs. So by the end of the year, we'll send some youth. So we can sign agreements with all these. Why? We need to be dynamic. Make use of our discussions now. If you talk with her, maybe you'll tell you, see, you need to go to Belgium to sign an agreement. Then for Canada, I've talked to you about already, Qatar and Asia. New Brunswick, but you go slowly. We don't have much money to travel because my board chair monitors the budget. Sometimes per year I travel 10 times. Then they ask me how I work for Togo. For now, we publish offers that we receive in our information system on the labor market, on the website of ANPE. We are digitalized since 2012, and the youth can register through internet, through their smartphones, and come and finish their registration in our offices. Pôle Emploi has given me 100 computers, and I've given 555 in Lomé, 444 within the country. Media AB has promised me 100 computers. Please learn to ask and obtain expertise and material. Don't take a computer to your house and give it to your children. No. Put it at the disposal of those who are in need. So these are some of the elements of what we have done, and which is not yet very mature in terms of concrete experience, but which is very clear. I will conclude by saying that with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we are taking care of another dimension. Togolese who work in international organizations. How can someone be in Mali and know that there is a job of a Malian in a World Health Organization or meteorology or UN? Our foreign affairs friends say they don't have money to create a website. I have created a blog, part of my website, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs comes with the Togolese flag, all Togolese announcements in international organizations. It is the Ministry of External Affairs that receives it, publishes it lately in the press, and when the deadline is almost there. But with ANPA, they publish faster. The Presidency of the Republic has instructed the Prime Minister to work on that, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs has created a committee by order in which I sit to work on the employment of Togolese. So we need to prepare them on language. Tell them how they should behave at the interview. Accompany them so that if we are dynamic enough, we can take posts of Malians, of Congolese. We need to prepare our teams. So that is the particularity of what we do and what we will do. So I will end by saying that professional migration is a partial response to the issue of employment. After every workshop, after every regional workshop, I have a project. I was in Kenya in 2015 on entrepreneurship. I met a lady from Tunisia, from Espace Entrepreneur. I sent my boys on mission there, and then we signed with Tunisia. And I copy almost what Tunisia is doing as far as programs and modules are concerned. And I travel with them in a dynamic way, and I capitalize on all this. We went in Jamaica in November and December on green employment, and immediately I asked a European Union mechanism to come and help me. I'm formulating a program to develop competencies on green employment. My brothers, you are sleeping a lot. You like coffee breaks, daily subsistence allowances. You don't do anything. My collaborators come here and they will clap like me without doing anything. I will meet in seminars, and they keep telling us, why do you travel? Every journey should bring a project, a program conceived. I have a program on employment of persons, of domestic workers. It's in the drawers of my minister for 4 years. I'm trying to tell him to take it to the Minister of Councils, the Council of Ministers. I attended another one in Brazzaville, and I prepared a decree on that, and my minister is still keeping it. But I'm not tired. Every journey brings a project. Thank you.